All right, Alayza. So how long have you been in real estate now?
A little over a year.
Oh, you're relatively new.
Yeah, I'm really new
Wait a
actually.
second. I,
Yeah.
I started February 24. When did you start?
I started in Oc in November of 2023.
Okay, so you're like a year and a half, a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
What inspired you to get into real estate?
Uh, I like helping people, so I always wanted to help people, but um, if this was a way to get financial freedom, so might as well help people and work towards financial freedom.
Yes. What were you doing before real estate?
A lot, a lot. I went to school for psychology. I went to school for EKG. I was running my own food business, catering business, full time with my son while he was young. So that's really what I did before this. It's called Kitchen 845. So
Mhm.
I would just do catering orders and then daily orders and things like that.
Nice. So you said you have a major in degree in psychology?
I dropped out right before I was going to graduate because I found out that the doctors only made $200,000 a year. And a lot of that they didn't see. And I didn't want to be in debt after 8 years of college. And yeah, doing all that. So I went for 2 years and then I didn't continue.
Oh, your plan was to be a psychologist.
A doctor in psychology, yes.
Right. Yeah. Well, isn't that the same thing as a psychologist?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But you can make that with real
But
estate.
a psychiatrist is a doctor
Psychiatrist.
because
Okay.
they prescribe the medicine. That's what I wanted to do.
Right. Yeah. Well, you could make that money as a realtor eventually.
Oh,
So
yeah.
tell us about your very first year, Eliza. How was that like?
My first year in real estate was very, very rough. Um, I
Yeah.
came in thinking I was going to make six figures my first year, and that was not the case, clearly. But
Very hard.
it's way harder than I thought. I didn't know that over like 85% of people drop in their first year and
Yep.
don't make it. I didn't know it was like a very slim chance of realtors who do make it.
Uh,
So that was like a big wake up call for me. It made me feel like I couldn't fail. So I'm not going to fail in this. I'm going to keep continuing. So I already am technically in the 15%. I didn't fail my first year. Like I kept going.
yeah. I mean, the first year being hard is completely normal. I think the average is like one closing in the first year, which is what I did. So that's completely normal.
Congrats. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's things. I had about like 10 listings, but I didn't sell all of my 10 listings in my first year. So I busted my butt my first year. I know my broker's like, you should just feel great. 10 listings is great your first year. But I'm just like, I need more. That's not six figures. But
10
it's just
listings
like,
in your first year is amazing.
but they all didn't sell because it was all a learning experience. So I sold about half of that. So probably like six listings I closed last year
Six closings in
alone.
the first year was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a listing, but honestly she just stopped responding to me. I think she changed her mind, and then she just stopped and she blocked me. She blocked my email, she blocked my phone. So I think she just changed her mind. So the six closings in the first year is amazing. Um,
Thank you.
what I said that already. Walk us through a normal day in your shoes. What time do you wake up? Coffee or tea? Walk us through a normal day.
Every day is different, which is why I love being a realtor. You
Mhm.
usually do like make your own schedule. So I make my own schedule every single day. And I wake up 8 in the morning. I get my son ready for school. I drop him. I'll eat like oatmeal, something like light, nice, something that's gonna help me get through the day. And then I do tea. I don't do
Oh,
coffee
you don't do
really.
coffee.
I'm already off the wall as soon as I wake up. So it's the last thing I need.
You're naturally energetic.
Very, yes.
So after breakfast, what's your next step after breakfast?
I drop my son off and then I'll do my work from home and then I'll work the whole time while he's at school. So from 8 till 1:30. And then if I have appointments and things like that, I'll fit that in while he's at school. And that's the only time I really have because I'm a full-time mom. His dad is in the Air Force. So I do what I can while I can do it. So it gets hectic sometimes. So, and then I do business events during the week. Sometimes if I can, if there are any, you know what I mean? And then yeah, most of the time I'm really just working on what I need to during the day and then being a mom.
Right. So what do you do? Do you cold call? Do you door knock? How do you get your prospect?
Um, I pin my business cards everywhere. I network like crazy. I speak to people. I message people on LinkedIn. I message people on Facebook, Instagram. I write people emails sometimes. I do it all. Like I called over 20,000 people already this year because I'm not
Wow.
playing. I'm trying to double my numbers. It's been hell. It's been crazy. I'm telling you. But you got
That,
to put in that work to see it.
how do you get the numbers?
I have people who come into my system and then I'll call them one by one and just see if they're interested. And that's why I spend a lot of time doing. And that's how I did convert a lot of my leads last year from calling. And a lot of people don't like to sit down and call, but I'll rather sit down and call for a couple hours and then it's easier that way. You know what I'm saying? And then I
Yeah.
have a mix of getting out there. I'm gonna start door knocking since it's nice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about cold calling, it gets very discouraging when it gets nowhere and the FUs, and then, the cold calling can get very discouraging. So 20,000 in 5 months that's 4,000 a month. That's incredible.
Thank you. Well, I only called like 10,000 last year, so I'm trying to definitely like make my numbers up here because I just want more business. So the more work you do put in, that's the only way you see things in real estate. And I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, real estate is like you have to keep saying, even though it's a 1% chance I'm going to try it. And you got to keep saying that over and over and over again until something finally hits.
Yes.
Alayza, what is your favorite thing about being a realtor?
My favorite thing about being a realtor is that it doesn't that there's so much room for growth. Like every single day I'm learning something new. And it's not just real estate that I'm learning. It's like financial. It's like so much more than just real estate. Like when you become a realtor, it's not just real estate. You're like a therapist and you're accountant a little bit and you're just a whole bunch of things in one. And it's insane. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely requires in a way, multiple personalities. Sometimes you gotta be friendly, but sometimes you gotta be assertive. I think one of my biggest mistakes in the first year, I don't think I was assertive enough. There were some clients that I kind of didn't put my foot down on, and I probably should have. And
Okay.
I've always hated pushy salesmen, so I think that kind of like slowed me down a little bit in my first year. Kind of the opposite question. What is your least favorite thing about being a realtor?
The pay, it takes so long to come. Oh, sorry, my light turned off. It takes so long to come sometimes. And honestly, it's very frustrating sometimes because you can go months without pay
Yeah.
and that's not your fault. And like recently I was supposed to get 4K at the end of April. Like that's what I was projected to make.
Uh,
And they took me off the listing. They decided not to sell the house. So I was down 4K and it's just like, we got bills and things we still have to pay and you just have to figure things out. And that's why my team leader always says it's important to have like a good pipeline. So when things like this do happen, it doesn't really affect you as much.
is real estate your only source of income?
No, I do PCA work like during like for 3 days during the week, and then that's how I make good money doing that. So I only go in for a little bit, and so that's like my side hustle, and then I like sport bet, which is one of my streams of gamble
Oh,
like income.
FanDuel?
I know
FanDuel?
yes, it doesn't sound like a stream of income, but I make money off it, so it is because I have like people in a Discord and things like that. So, yes. And then I also have my business Kitchen A for Five, which is a catering business, but I'm about to start doing it full time, like in the markets and things like that. I'm gonna get it registered as an S corp. So next week I'll be working on my Kitchen A for Five business on top of my real estate and everything else I have going on.
Sounds like you got a lot going on.
Yes, I have a lot going on.
That's great. My side hustle is Uber. I'm an Uber driver. I'm also
Nice.
about to go back to school to be a therapist.
Oh, nice.
So we have to talk about that when we do our mental health podcast, maybe tomorrow or next week or something.
Okay.
Tell us about one unforgettable experience you've had in your career.
Good or bad?
Do you want to do one of each?
Um, well, a bad experience I had would be like when I first became a realtor, I was doing a showing and I had two guy clients. They came upstairs and he lit a cigarette in the house
Oh, that's terrible.
uh, during a showing and it stunk so bad. And like, I was just like new. So I just was
Wait,
like, can
was
you
was
please?
he a client of who?
He was my client.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
showing him the house. So it was a lot. That was just like a really like one of the craziest, not one of the craziest, but like one big thing that like was just like, whoa, people are just crazy,
Did you
like in
scream at
real
him?
estate. Like, yeah, I would not scream, but I was just like, excuse me, sir, please put that out because definitely not allowed in here,
Right,
you
right.
know. So that's one thing. And then a good thing in real estate would be my first check.
Oh yeah, that's always the best one.
Yeah, it just like gives you that taste of like, okay, like I can really do this and it motivates you. It's just like, all right, this I can do this, you know.
How long did it take you for your first check? How long was it?
I'm sorry, can you see me
Yeah, I
okay?
can see. It's sideways now. There you
Oh,
go.
sorry.
There you
It took me, I don't even know, maybe a couple months. Like definitely like a couple months. It was a little deal. It wasn't nothing crazy.
But yeah,
Uh,
but still, a couple of months. That's great. A lot of people don't get any checks the first year.
Yeah, yeah, I closed probably like 20K maybe my first year, and then a lot
20K
of it was off
clean.
market. Like, yeah.
That's great for your first closing. That's great.
No, first for like the first year real
Oh,
estate.
20K. That's
Y-
still no, but you said you had six closings. Okay.
Yeah, not all houses. I do mostly land. I do everything. I do commercial, I do land, I do like multifamilies. Like I
Rentals?
do a little bit of everything because I'm new. So I like to, I don't know what I really like yet, but I really like everything. So
Do you do rentals too?
yes. So that's what I'm saying. Like a little bit of here and there, you know.
Okay. Well, the second year will probably be more than double that based on your hustle. I would imagine that your second year will be incredible.
Thank you.
So approximately how much per month do you spend into your business?
Well, I just got like, well, for example, I just got like probably like a couple $1,000s off this last check well, the last deal I just got, and I'll put more than half of that towards
Wow.
my business because that now I know now I learned that the way
You
to
have
build
to.
yourself is to put into yourself,
Yep.
you
You
know?
have to. Yep. I'm
Yes.
sure you learned that in your other businesses too, that you have to spend money to make money.
Oh yeah. Sadly, and especially in New York, it's bad.
Yeah, I mean that's that's running a business in general. Yeah, when I look at the top realtors, they all spend a lot of money, or at least used to. So I know some people who spend like 6, 7K a month in their business.
Yes. It's worth it though. It's worth it.
You get it back if you spend it properly. So how would you respond to people who say that realtors are overpaid?
I would say most of them are broke, so that's literally the truth. The ones that are overpaid are the ones that they see on social media, but a lot of people are going broke and they're starving. Most realtors are like artists, starving artists, really, you know?
Most of us have a side hustle, or real
Yeah,
estate is our side hustle.
yes, you're right. It's hard to make it your first stream income. Like it takes a couple years. And I know the people who are big, they did it for over 5 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like
A
it's
lot of
been a
them have
couple years.
connections too.
Yes, that's big. So I network a lot. So
I know realtors that I won't name who's like their father is a broker. So, a lot of the big guys have connections. But yeah, I mean, the thing is they see what we have and they see maybe one or two closings, but they don't see how many flakes. I mean, real estate is so much flaking. They don't see all the flaking that we have to go through.
I lose every day and I win probably once after a couple of months or one time a month out of all the 30 days. Like a lot of people want to, like it's a really gritty like field to get into. Like a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle all them no's. Like you're losing way more than winning in this field for sure.
The word that I think of is persistency. You got to have persistency. Is listing on MLS enough, or do you do more if you have a listing? Do you do what else do you do besides listing on MLS?
I list on all social media platforms. So I do Instagram, Marketplace, I do Twitter, I'll do LinkedIn, I'll do Um, everything you could think of. Google ads, like that's another one.
Do you pay for
Um,
ads?
yes,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
I do. So yeah, so that's how I get my things off. I target my audience, and then I'll do it that way.
Yeah, because a lot of realtors they just list on MLS. They don't put anything into ads, and the ads can make a big difference. Uh, Alayza, do you view other realtors as competition?
Not really. I just see myself as competition because I'm only trying to verse myself. Like, I don't care what anybody else got going on. Good for you if you close a million or 10 million a year. I'm trying to get like that too, but I don't see you as competition because it's just it's a dog eat dog competition. I'll use it as fuel to if you're doing 10 million, okay, maybe then if you're doing that, I can do that too. That's how I see it as, like fuel, energy.
Yeah, when I look at the realtors that are very, very successful. What I think in my head is, what do they have that I don't? I'm smart, I'm hardworking. Like I feel like I can get there. It just takes again persistency, a lot of
Yeah.
cold calling, a lot of door knocking. But I have the same mindset. Like when I think about the people who make like two, three, four closings a month, I think the same thing. Like if they can do it, I can do it. I just I just got to figure out how. So
Yeah, yeah. Literally.
I think the same way. Do you have an LLC?
Not next week I will. So I'll have two LLCs, one for my KitchenAid for Five business and then one for this. But I'm thinking about doing S Corp. I've been doing so much research on what I want to do. So I think I'm gonna do S Corp and then do it that way. It's if a lot of people don't know about S Corp, look into it. It's the new LLC for sure. You save a lot of money. The taxes are different. You could pay yourself, and then when you pay yourself, the deductibles are different. I feel like it's just better to go that way, save more money. If you're in New York, they're money hungry, so you got to find ways around it. And I feel like S Corp is the perfect way to do that.
S corps are good for small businesses. So I've been reselling sneakers for 6 years, and that's actually what motivated me to start my S corp. And then
Nice.
yeah,
Congrats.
I've had it for like five years now because I didn't start right away. I should have started right away, but I didn't. Um, how do you filter your clients? Like, do they have to be pre-approved? How do you filter them?
Well, in the beginning, I was working with everybody and anybody, which you should not do because they should be qualified. And yeah, it goes a long way if you have a qualified buyer. And if you're not qualified, I steer them in the right direction until they are qualified, and I'll help them throughout the process. So I won't leave you high and dry. I'll help you, guide you. And then if you don't want to work with me after all that, then that's fine. Good luck. I don't
I'm
feel
sure you have a loan officer friend that you refer them to.
I have a list, yeah. I got a list, yeah.
You have a rotation.
Yes.
Yeah, so it sounds to me like if they're not pre-approved, you don't meet with them, is that right?
If they're pre-approved, I'll help them get pre-approved. And if they're not pre-approved, I'm asking them if they use cash. And most of the time they're using cash if they're not pre-approved, or they'll have something along the line set up, or I'll help them.
Because in my whole first year, and even now, to be honest, I kind of have the mentality of just show your face. Like I still like will meet them at a Starbucks or something, even if they're not pre-approved, because I kind of just want to show my face, in a way. I think it's good to show your face in the beginning. Um,
Yeah.
this is a tricky question. What separates you from other realtors?
Well, they're not me. They don't have the charisma I have. They don't have the um energeticness I have. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm very different. Like I feel like I'm God's favorite. I like to say that. I feel like everybody should feel like they're God's favorite. Everybody should hype themselves up. Everybody should be their own hype man. I'm very proud of who I am. And I'm very raw. Like that's different with me. I'll say I went through the struggle. Ask me if I'm struggling, I'll tell you, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna fake it. And I feel like that's why people wanna do work with me because I'm very authentic and I'll keep it real. And I don't gotta lie. What do I gotta lie for? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm sensing like a fire in you. Like you're very ambitious, very maybe like assertive. Like
I
I
am.
yeah.
Thank you. I'm a fire sign. I'm a Sagittarius. So
Yeah, I'm sensing like this like never give up personality type,
yes, I don't give up. I may lose, but I don't give up.
which is good. That's a very, very, useful personality trait. Do you think the interest rates and home prices will lower anytime soon?
Yes, I feel like the market is gonna crash. I feel like it's a bubble waiting to pop.
Wow.
I feel like well, when you look at the numbers, we're already past 2008. So why would anybody think that it's not going to crash? You know what I'm saying? Like we're already past the numbers. We're already past the inflation rate. We're past that all that. Like we're really just reaching the ceiling and it just keeps hitting, 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 hitting and it's bound to just burst. And honestly, I'm waiting for it. It
You
may
think
be
that
we
there,
don't know when, but
you think that we're gonna have another 2008?
I feel like it's going to be worse than 2008 because we set ourselves up to be worse than 2008 because we're already so far gone past that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just where I feel like we're at a point where we won't see 3% interest rates ever again. Like, I don't ever see that happening unless something happens that I don't like, unless something really crazy happens. But I definitely do not see that happening. I see everything getting more expensive from here on out, and I don't see it getting any easier.
Well, you said that it's a bubble, so that means that that means that it'll be easier for a little bit, no?
But if the bubble persists, that means all these houses are going to go into default for mortgages. Well, whoever has a mortgage, they're going to go into default. It'd be good for us, but not really for the economy. Like it would be good for realtors because we'll have all these houses, the inventory that are going to be foreclosed because they can't afford to keep up with it. Like it's just going to be a whole big thing. It's going to be crazy. Like a person who got a mortgage rate for the so and so percent, it's once the market crashes, it's gonna be insane. Like we're gonna see something we have never seen before, worse than 2008. Like that's how I feel with my research. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm just ready for whatever.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting perspective because I ask this question in every interview, and pretty much everyone says like, there's it's not going to lower anytime soon. We're just going to keep going up. So the fact that it's a bubble, I mean, there's a part of me that's kind of wondering like, didn't the banks learn from the mistakes from 2008?
But who's benefiting from them? Not us. They are. So the more mistakes they make, the more they eat, not us. It just
Interesting.
hurts us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very interesting take. Do you prefer to work with buyers or sellers?
Um, I guess I'm more of a seller's agent more than I thought because I had so many listings, but I am both, I guess. But I'm more on the seller side, I guess.
Why is that?
I don't know. I feel like I have a lot of listings and I feel like I can convert them easier. Buyers, I feel like they're just I honestly have the not the best luck with buyers. Like I'll have somebody like I just don't have ready and able willing buyers, basically. Like it just takes them so long or something happens or they're just not ready. I'm on standby for all the buyers I've worked with last year, but we're still not ready yet. It's just some of them were, but some of them aren't, majority of them are not ready yet because everybody's scared to buy. That's
Yep.
why I feel like.
There's this saying, buyers are liars. Like it's sad, but it's so true. I had so many, I've had dozens and dozens of flakes, and I'm not even, a vet. And I've had dozens
Yes.
of buyers flake. A lot of it comes from fear. A lot of it is fear. They're afraid of buying, or they don't know what they want. Like I was working with an assistant principal just last week, and she just said, like I think instead of buying, I want to rent, and this and so a lot of people, they don't know what they want.
Okay.
Approximately what percent of your leads lead to actual closings?
Um, I don't know. Like, I feel like if I convert you and you're my lead, then we're gonna all my like most of my sell like all of my listings that I had, most of them sold or there was like a problem. Like
Mhm.
the seller didn't want to agree with the price. That's out of my control. Like, the reason why I didn't sell some things were not in my control. Like one of them was a complete piece of crap land. It was like you couldn't do anything with it, and it was wetlands, so the
Wow.
town wouldn't let you build on it at all. So it's a piece of land I was selling for $5,000, and you
Wow.
couldn't do anything with it. But it didn't sell. But we were about to, but she didn't want to accept the price because she felt like she deserved more, And everybody should get what they deserve, But now she got nothing out of the deal. She could have walked away with a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, some people, I guess, just get too greedy, I guess, in the business. Um, why should a person even use an agent? Some people say, I don't need a realtor. I was just talking to my friend just yesterday, who I've known for over 20 years, and he's selling, and he goes, I don't think I need a realtor. Why should a person even use a realtor?
But I feel like not everybody does need a realtor. I feel like if you want the assistance, then go ahead and get a realtor. I tell my friends, like, I tell everybody, if you don't need one, don't use one. I wouldn't use one personally if I didn't need one because it's a waste of money. But if you're using it for certain things, like if you need help getting a pre-approval, or if you don't know, if you're a first-time home buyer and you don't know what you're doing, you should use a realtor because they can help you guide you through the process instead of being all lost or making these mistakes. You don't have to make mistakes as a first time home buyer. You can have somebody to hold your hand for a percentage, a short percentage.
Right, right. And, the percentage is always negotiable. And I
Yeah.
told them, like you can't list on MLS without a realtor. Also, we pay for photographers. And also another big one is referrals. Like a lot of us, a lot of the time we will refer a buyer to
Yeah.
that person. So there are a list of reasons. Um, how has the real estate market changed since you first started?
Well, I jumped in after COVID, so it sucked as soon as I came in. So I'm still we're in the market where it sucks. So I'm waiting for it to pick up. 'Cause, like everybody was talking about how before COVID it was so lovely and
During
it was
COVID.
nice. Yeah, yeah, during COVID. Yes, my apologies. When the interest rates were low and everybody was just loving it. It was sunshines and rainbows, I heard. So I missed out on that, but I'm happy I didn't get involved around then because I would have been in a false reality
Yeah.
because they said a lot of those realtors are done now. Like
Yep.
they
Yep.
can't survive in this market, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. A lot of them actually quit. Last year, I know I looked up the number. I forget what the number was, but it was a lot of realtors that quit because, like you said, they had a false perception because I heard that during COVID, like I missed that COVID train too. Um, I heard that during COVID, all you needed was a license. Like you didn't even you didn't even need to
Wow.
cold call. You don't even need to prospect. So a lot
Yeah.
of them had a false perception, and then they just couldn't handle last year or this year or even the year before. So very good point. Um, do you think that new agents should seek a trainer?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that. I'm a part of a team, so I recommend that because if I wasn't a part of the team, I would struggle a lot more, make a lot of mistakes. It's good to work with somebody who already knows what they're doing, even though they're gonna get more of a cut. It's for a good reason. Like you don't want to be making these mistakes. It could take you a lot longer to get where you need to just because you're trying to do it by yourself. You don't have to do it by yourself. You could always get help. I feel like the people who succeed more are the people who do get the help and ask the questions. So,
Yeah, I have a trainer too, and I think it's very, very important, especially if you're brand new. Maybe not after your first year or after your first closing even, but in the beginning, I think everyone needs some sort of mentor. Do you
yes.
have a CRM?
Yes, I have a CRM. I have two actually.
Oh, you have two CRMs. Which ones?
I have Follow Up Boss, and then the other one is part of my company. It's like Max Center, I think.
Why do you have two? Why not just one?
Well, because one came with my two, my company gives me two, so I just use one of them,
Oh, oh, you don't
And then
pay.
yeah, so one comes in from my website. So whoever goes on my website, I'll get that from one CRM, and then my CRM is the one that I have come in from like everything else, literally everything else. So,
Yeah, I had Lofty for a while, but now I just use Google Excel
all
myself.
right, nice.
Did you ever think about opening up your own brokerage?
In the beginning, but now I don't know. Like it just costs so much and it's so much liability. And
Yeah.
when you're a broker, you're in charge of everybody and like you have to have some good lawyers on standby just in case one person messes up because you can lose your license for everybody. And honestly, I think that I'm gonna just probably stay a salesperson and work my way up that way. And then I have my other businesses. So I still feel like a boss every single day. I'd rather just feel like a boss like this without having to all that liability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're still your own boss. You're still a CEO. Like you don't necessarily need employees to be a boss. Like as long as you work for yourself. But being a broker is a lot of headaches. I'm still thinking about it, but I didn't even hit my two
Okay,
years yet. But I'm still thinking about it myself. So you
that's
said you do
nice.
commercial real estate. Um, what do you prefer? Do you prefer commercial or do you prefer residential?
Commercial's hard. So I like commercial because it's like interesting. It's definitely different than residential. It's so different. Like triple net, and then it's just too much. It's like so much. It's insane, but I do love it. Like it's good. It's definitely good. But
Yeah.
I prefer residential probably.
It's simpler.
It's it depends on the client.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
depends on the client. And also they say that with commercial, it's a lot more political, they say.
Oh yeah, and it takes longer to close, I feel like, too. But you get more in return.
Right.
So
Yeah, I'm not sensing a fear from you. Like from you, what I'm hearing is, even though it's hard, I'm willing to do it anyway.
yeah, I have like a listing coming up soon. It's like a deli on 9W in
Nice.
Wappingers, New York, and we're trying to lease it out. So I'm excited for that because like 100,000 people drive by. So I want to get a sign up there with my face. So all these people can see my face and then it helps me. Like they'll recognize my face. You know what I'm saying? Like everything happens like for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that no, I'm sure that sign is going to help a lot. So do you have an office or do you go into the office or do you just work from home?
So I do both. I'm home right now in my home office. I just have a little desk in my room because it's just I love the vibe. So and then I have an office in my in Fishkill, New York. That's where I'm located. So I have my own room and everything in there.
So I always ask people, what inspires you to go into the office when you could just work from home? What even inspires you to go into the office?
Well, me and my team leader will work together and it'll help me. So today I went into the office for like 4 hours, 3 hours, and we'll work through what I need to work through. He'll help me, and then he'll help me like do listings and things like that. Look over my contracts before I send them out. I have a new listing coming on the market. It's a land in
Nice.
like Wallkill area. So he like helped me with that. Just like ran through. There's the contracts changed, so I'm trying to figure out which contract I want to use moving forward. Like that's the best for me, like every single time, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
I love the office though. It's a good vibe. They got like food in the fridge and everything over there.
The food makes the big difference in the coffee too. Alayza, what is your long-term plan?
Long-term plan, I plan on being an influencer. I'm already starting to be an influencer on social media. I have like 15K like total on Facebook and then a little bit less on Instagram and like TikTok and everything, but it's still growing. Like I I feel like I'm famous with the amount of people that reach out to me. I have like over 50 messages a week.
Wow.
Like just people like yeah, today I had probably over 40 because I just added people. So like when I add people, they'll just write me. Like it's just insane. And like I have people like you, like who ask me to do like ask me questions, or I'll go into the office with somebody who just has a question for me. And it's just like it's nice because 2 years ago, I was this ghetto girl, literally like speaking slang. I did wear my Crocs every day, and now look at me, like I'm in like a nice turtleneck, and like I don't wear my Crocs at all,
Uh,
barely
uh,
anymore. Probably
uh,
just to drop my son to school, and it's just like I'm a completely different woman. Like I reinvented myself, and I continue to reinvent myself and just be bigger. I see myself doing TED Talks, so you're meeting me before I'm famous. So
was this your first interview or have you done other interviews before?
I have done other interviews before.
I'd love to watch those, maybe a little later. Do you have
Thank
any
you.
tips for new agents?
New tips for new agents. Don't come in thinking you're gonna make 6 figures your first year.
Yep, yep.
That's the first mistake. And you put in as much, the work you put in is the money you will see. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Closings will fall after you put in hours or
Yep.
months into them. And don't get discouraged because it's just a game. People lose $50,000 and you just gotta brush it off your shoulder and hope for more.
Not that it's easy to brush, a fifty
Who you
thousand dollar
telling?
loss, but
Who you
you're right though. I mean, life is full of L's and real estate is full of L's and real estate is full of a lot of flakes. So what I would say is expect a lot of flaking and back to the P word, persistent. You got to be persistent. Alayza, where can people find you?
on social media, and then they can find me in person. I look like I'm in the area in the Hudson Valley. I'm always out, so you could always like follow me, and you'll see me on my reels. I'm always out and about. So yeah,
Perfect. So I'm going to put all your links below. So we're going to do our mental health podcast on another day. We'll talk about that after. But Alayza, it was great talking to you.
you too, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, Alayza, have a good one. Thanks.
You too.